All right, so in this video, I'm going to show you the roadmap to your first $1 million, okay? So if you enjoy this video and if it does add value to you, be sure to, boom, smash that thumbs up. And if you're new to the family, welcome to the Wholesale to Million. And boom, smash that subscribe button and let's rock and roll, okay? So first off, who here has a J-O to B that they're trying to escape and they are looking to be the first generation millionaire in their family? Comment in the chat and let me know, because I can tell you right now, this is where 99% of us start, okay? Unless you're born in a rich, wealthy family, then you don't start here. But 99% of us started at a J-O to B, okay? This is when we trade our time, okay? This is when we trade our time for the money, okay? So the key is, here's how you're going to go from here to a millionaire. I'm going to show you exactly, step by step, how you too, my friend, can do this, okay? So 12 years ago, I started here. I was making $8.50 an hour, all right? $8.50 an hour. It took me 6 years, okay? I worked here for 8 years, but it took me 6 years to finally make $30,000 a year. And I can tell you right now, it is not how hard you work, but it's what you do for work that will actually make you rich. Let me explain. I remember I was working here. I was making 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, just like majority of you. I finally cracked, after 6 years, I cracked $30,000 a year. Then I saw someone on YouTube, this guy, he was flipping a contract. He was flipping a contract, a piece of paper, and made $30,000 in 1 month. That's when I realized that, damn, okay, he makes what he makes in 1 month is what I make in the whole entire year. So if I learn how to do what he does, I can literally make $30,000 in 1 month and take the rest of the year off if that's what I wanted. And I can show you right now how you can do the same, okay? So I went from this, making $30,000 a year, to now making $100,000 a month. And I'm going to show you the exact step, the exact blueprint on how you can do the exact same thing. I don't care what situation you're in. I don't care what your circumstance is. I don't care what your nationality. I don't care what your gender is. I don't care if you're a he, a she, a he, she. It doesn't matter. Okay? The key is once you have the combination to the lock, you can open up any lock, my friend. I'm going to give you the master lock. Okay? I'm going to give you the master lock. So you can open up any lock that you want, okay? The question is, are you going to put in the work and are you going to stay committed? Do you going to trust the process and persistent and continue going at this? That's the key. Winners don't quit and quitters never wins. That's one thing I want you to understand, okay? So here is the roadmap to your first $1 million. And honestly, I've never seen anybody share this on social media. Everybody just kindly, briefly talks about it, but no one actually give you the blueprint, the step that you need to take to actually go from where you are to becoming the first millionaire. TikTok family, if you are like Khang, I want to break the generation curse. I want to become the next millionaire in my family. I want to do this. I want to make a change. I want to improve my life. I want to make more money. I want to help my dad, my parents. I want to support my family. If you're a husband, you're like Khang, I want to be the role model for my kids. I want to take care of my wife. I want to be the provider. Show me the road. I'm going to show you how it's done. So double tap the screen, TikTok family, and give this video a share. Okay? So first off, once again, if you start here and you're like, Khang, I got a J-O to B. I hate it. I'm trying to escape. Okay? Listen. You only got 2 choices in life, my friend. Since the day that you're born, you only got 2 choices. You either be the boss, okay, or you work for a boss. That's it, period. So you need to make up your mind. Are you going to be the boss or are you going to work for one? That's it, okay. So first off, we start at the J-O to B. You're trading your time for money, okay. This is when you exchange. That's all we got. You trade your time for the money. The question is, what do you do with the money? That is where this comes down to. Is what are you going to do with the money that you make? Because that's what's going to change your life. Because it's not about how much you make. It's what you can keep and reinvest. That, my friend, is what's going to set you free. YouTube family, I know I'm looking at this camera, but I'm also looking at this camera because we also got TikTok on live, okay? So let me see here. TikTok family, double tap that screen and let's get some more people on here, okay? So JOB, what are you going to do with the money? So the key here, guys, is you need to live below your means. You need to save as much money as you can. You need to stack away as much as you can from what you make from here. Okay? So you need to rent like the cheapest apartment. You want to drive you want to buy a Honda, Toyota. Something that lasts a long time and that can get you from A to B, and that save you also on gas. Once again, you want to live as cheap, as frugal, as broke as you possibly can. Okay? If you can live on $100 a month, live on $100 a month. Because the key is, how can you keep majority of that money that you make by living extremely poor? Because here's what you're going to do. Okay? Because you need to take that money and you need to reinvest it. You need to invest it into a side hustle, which means you need to figure out a career, a business that you want to do. Okay, something that you can do on the side that can potentially make you the next millionaire. So once again, it's not about how hard you work, it's what you do for work. Hard work will only make you a living. Smart work is what makes you a fortune. I want to say that again. Hard work is what makes you a living. Smart work is what will make you a fortune. Okay? So it's not about working harder, but how can you work smarter and harder to accumulate the wealth? Okay? So figure out what it is that you want to get in, the side hustle that you want to kickstart. There's so much opportunity out there. And I say this all the time. There's no lack of knowledge. There's no lack of information in today's world. You can get, dude, whatever it is you want to do, you can find on YouTube, you can find it on TikTok, you can find it on social media. Okay? So there's no lack of knowledge, there's no lack of information, just lack of execution, lack of work ethic. I think a lot of people grew up in a generation where they're just too lazy. Okay? They want the money to come, but they're lazy. Okay? Too many lazy people want to get rich. That is the problem that we're having right now. There's no lack of knowledge or information. Okay? So you figure out what it is that you want to do. And if you don't know what side hustle to do, stay all the way to the end. I'm going to show you what I do to become a millionaire. Okay, I'm going to show you the side hustle, the business that I'm doing that got me there. Okay, so figure out what side hustle you want to get into. The next thing is, once your side hustle, so you want to take the money from here that you have accumulated and saved to kickstart that side hustle. Now, there's a lot of side hustle that you can do with very little money or no money at all. But if you have the capital to boost it, it's really, really going to help you kickstart it a lot faster. Okay? That's why you want to live as cheap as possible. And by living cheap, you don't have a whole lot of expense. Okay? Which is good. Which allow you to take more risk, because you have more capital to take risk. Okay? So figure out what side hustle you want to start. So now, once the side hustle makes more money than the J O the B that you're doing, that's, my friend, is when the time that you quit. Okay? That's when you quit. And then what you want to do is now, how can you turn this side hustle, this part-time, okay, into an actual business? A money printing machine. That is what you want. You want to turn it into a money printing machine. Okay? So you want to turn it into a business. Okay? That can generate you monthly income. Okay? And then after you have built a business, and I would say this business needs to get to the point where it's making you at least $25,000 a month. At least. I'm talking about like net, take home. Okay? Once it made you at least $25,000 a month, that's when now, instead of renting, you now can go buy your first investment property. Okay? The reason I say investment property instead of your first house is because now you can buy a duplex, a triplex, a fourplex with an FHA loan with only 3.5% down. So let's just say if you buy a duplex, okay, which means you're able to live on one of the units and then you get to rent this out. So now you're living mortgage free. And when you're able to live mortgage free, my friend, guess what? You're putting more money into your pocket. You're saving more money. You have more liquid cash. So the next thing is, once you're settled now, you got a roof over your head, you own your own property. The next question is, now you just need to focus on continue to blow this thing up. Build this business to the point where you're making at least $50,000 or $100,000 a month. That's when you can start now thinking about buying more investment property. So let me give you an example. So I didn't buy my first investment property until I was making $50,000 a month. And my first investment property was a duplex. I bought it from foreclosure. Okay? I actually bought it on auction.com. It was a great piece of property. It was a duplex. It only needed $5,000 in renovation. I bought it for $159,000 and it brings in $2,000 in rent a month. So my cash flow, dude, I was getting a really good cash flow. Okay? But I didn't start buying investment property until I was making $50,000 a month from my business. After that, I was starting to buy one investment property per year. Okay? There was a year where I bought two, where I bought three. And now I own 14 rentals. Have a net worth of over, I would say in a ballpark of right $10 million. That's including all my real estate, my gold, my silver, my crypto, like my house, like cash and everything I got. Okay? But that took me that took me over 10 years. So what I'm saying to you is that this is not a get rich quick, but it's a get rich over time. Wealth is not built in 1 year. It built over time. Okay? Success never happened overnight. It happens over time. So the game plan, the blueprint that I'm giving to you, I would say set yourself for 5 years. Okay? Set yourself up for 5 years to become the next millionaire. So if you're willing to sacrifice your next 5 years to do what it takes, what is required to build a business of your own to become the next millionaire, then this video is truly for you. But if you're one of those that, hey, Khang, I can't wait for 5 years. I want to do it within a year. Then this is not for you. Because I don't think anybody, I would say 99% of people who think that they can become a millionaire in a year, 99.9% fail. Never make it. Because they're always playing the short term instead of the long term. So 6 months in, they haven't got any result. Guess what happened? They quit. And what if they try to get to $1 million in 1 year and 6 months in, they only made 100,000? They're like, or they only make 50,000. They're like, oh, dude, that's too far off. And then they get discouraged and they quit. And we all know a quitter never wins. So if you set yourself up for long term, 6 months in, you haven't got a deal. You're like, dude, it's in the work. I still got four years at this. And it only takes one. And I want to share this with you so you guys can all understand. It only takes you 1 good year to make more money than I ever made in the last 10 years. So my first 10 years, I made less than what I make in 1 year of real estate. Just so you understand the concept. So your first 4 years, you maybe don't make anything. You don't make as much. You're just surviving. Right? Or maybe you are profiting, but you're profiting very little. But it only takes you 1 year to make it all back and some. That's what I'm saying. That's why there's a saying that employee thinks in terms of months. Like employee, W-2, they want to get paid every month. They can't think long term. Millionaire thinks in terms of years. So when they're willing to go build something and not get paid and then reap the reward a year later. Billionaires thinks in terms of decades. That's how far they think. So that's why billionaires, dude, they're like our first year, 1 year, don't eat, no problem. I'm not getting paid, no problem. But once they sold their company, boom, they make it all back and some. See, that's what billionaires do. Decades. That's how far they think. Got it? So now let me share with you. Oh, we're almost at 700 people. Let's go. Okay, now you guys giving me motivation. Okay, now I'm going to share with you what's the side hustle that I did that got me go from broke to a millionaire and how you too can actually do this. Okay, now when I use the word broke, I truly believe that any one of us who live in America, there should no reason why you don't have any money in the bank. There should be no reason why you're broke. And if you are broke, then you shouldn't be out eating. You shouldn't be out shopping. I shouldn't be catching you at Starbucks. The only thing you should be doing is freaking hustling. You should be at home, in the office, whatever it is, hustling. Okay? So now let me share with you a side hustle. So once again, TikTok family, YouTube family, if one of your goal is to become the next millionaire in your family, break the generation curse, and become a role model. Someone that your family can look up to and be proud of and say, damn, let's go. My mom, dude, she now goes around and she tells people a story about me all the time. Showing off to people, you know, my Ferrari and what I'm doing, what I'm making. Before that, she didn't want to talk about me at all. I was a disgrace to the family, okay? My sister used to look down on me and said, dude, don't ever be like your Uncle Khang. Okay, he's a high school dropout. He's a loser. He live in a shed. So unless that's what you want, dude, go to school. But now it's the opposite. Okay, they said, hey, go seek advice from Uncle Khang. But to me, everything that was given for free is never valuable. So when you give your time for free, even to friends and family, sometimes you got to charge them. Not like you're going to use, you know, you don't need the money, but charge them. So they know, right, that they have skin in the game, that they need to take this seriously. Sometimes you got to pay to play, man. And when they have skin in the game, they're more serious and they're more willing to take action because they don't want to lose the investment. They want to make that money back. Got it? Anything that's given for free, people take it for granted. Do you agree? If you agree, TikTok family, double tap the screen. YouTube, smash the thumbs up. So what I do is call wholesaling real estate. So for those of you who don't know what wholesaling real estate is, my friend, this is the #1 side hustle. The best business that you can get into with very little capital and very little risk. And let me explain to you why. Wholesaling real estate is all we're doing is that we are the middleman. There is no buying. There is no fixing. The quickest, one of my fastest closing was 3 days. I made $35,000 on that deal in 3 days. I'm going to show you how you can do it too. All right. So here's what wholesaling real estate is. And I want you guys to think. Okay. Amazon doesn't own any product. But that's how they make the money. They are the middleman, okay? They are the middleman between the seller and the buyer, between you and someone who sold the product. And they make their fees. Uber doesn't own any cars. But they link you between the driver and the passenger. And they make their money right there in between. And that's exactly what we're doing in real estate. Most people, when you talk about real estate, they think about house flipper, right? They think about house flipper, which means they're like, man, you got to have a lot of capital. There's a lot of risk involved, yada, yada, yada. Or they think about becoming a realtor. Okay, or they think about becoming a landlord. Now, all of this require you, well, I shouldn't say all of this, but a realtor, you got to go get a license. A house flipper, you got to buy the property, fix and flip it, and then a landlord. So most people think, hey, if I want to be an investor, I got to flip houses or I got to buy and hold, which costs a lot of money for you to actually get in, right? So it costs a lot for the entry level. So most of us that started at JOB cannot afford to get into either one of this. And then the next thing is we're like, oh, let's become a realtor. So if you are a realtor, I'm going to show you what wholesaling is. And I think you can add this to your skill set, to your toolbox, so you can make even more. Because as a realtor, you're capped at 3 to 5% commission. But what I'm about to show you is that you can make 20 to 30% commission instead. Boom. So you like this realtor? Lock in. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. Here's what it is. Okay, let me see how many is on TikTok. Can we get to 1,000? Oh, dang. Can we get to 1,000 people on this live, TikTok family? And at the end of the live, TikTok, I'm going to give you something for free. Okay? So here's what wholesaling real estate is. So what you're doing is that we're going to find a rundown house with a motivated seller, which means the seller is in a situation where they want and they need to get rid of this property. For example, they can be in pre-foreclosure. So which means if they don't sell the property, they're going to lose it to the bank. It could be a tire landlord, someone who rent the property out. Now they have renter in there that's not paying them rent and they won't leave. So they're like, dude, I can't afford to pay 2 mortgages, right? Or it could be an inherit property. Someone in the family member, their parents just passed away or grandparents just passed away. Now they inherit this property. They don't know what to do with it. Or it could be a divorce situation. The husband and the wife said, hey, dude, I want to sell the house, but I don't want my wife to have anything because he's pissed. Or it could be vice versa. And you guys think these doesn't exist every single day. You just need to know where to find them and how to find them, and I'll show you how. Okay? So what you're going to do is once we find that, okay, then all this comes down to is now we're going to negotiate. Okay? And this is the skills that you need to learn. How to negotiate with this homeowner. So that way we can get the property under contract at a 30 to 40% discount. So a lot of you be like, well, Khang, I don't know who would sell their property for 30 to 40% discount. Well, I don't know about you, but I don't know who go to the pawn shop and get pennies on a dollar for whatever it is they trying to pawn. Because they need the money and they want it to be an easy, hassle-free sell. That's why. Like I said, they're in a situation. They'd rather get 60% of nothing. 60% of something than 0% of nothing. Or 100% of nothing. Make sense? So if they don't sell, they're going to lose it to the bank. For example. Right? So what we're going to do is we're going to negotiate a deal with them and we're going to put that property under contract. So all you need, my friend, is this contract right here. This contract, my friend, is what's going to make you millions of dollars. I've made millions of dollars with this contract. With just four pieces of paper have made me millions. 4 pieces of paper. Okay? And this is the key. So once we negotiate a deal with the seller is going to sign what's called a purchase and sale contract, which means they're willing to sell to you, you're willing to buy it. But as a wholesaler, we don't buy the property. Once they sign it, we're just going to control that property with a contract for 30, let's just say 30 days. Because typically I lock it up for 30 to 60 days. The longer, the better. Okay? So let's just say we're gonna control that house for 30 days. And in this contract, it gives you equitable interest. Which means in the contract, I put in there that I have equitable interest in the property that I can now either move forward to buy it or I can legally sell this piece of paper, my rights to buy this property over to anybody. My aunt, my uncle, my mommy, my daddy, doesn't matter who wants to buy it. I can sell it over to them as long as I can make a profit. Make sense? So typically what we do is we now going to go and we're going to hunt for what's called a cash buyer. Someone who wants to buy, fix, and flip the property, or who wants to buy, fix it, and keep it as a long-term rental, right? So basically now we're finding an investor. And we're just going to simply sell the contract over to them for $25,000 more. Now, why do I say $25,000? The average wholesale fee is right around $20 to $25K. Okay? My biggest wholesale fee is on a single family home. $212,000. One of my students just closed his biggest wholesale deal for $173,000. So I want to let you guys know that the sky is the limit. There's no cap. But on an average, you make about $20,000 to $25,000 on a wholesale fee. So imagine if you just do one of those a month, or even one every 3 months. That's still an extra $100,000 that you can add on top of your current income, with just by doing this part-time. Now, who here is saying, hey, Khang, if I can make $25,000 a month, it'll change my life? Let me know. Comment in, let me know. If you can implement this and make $25,000 a month, okay? Who here said, Khang, that would completely change my life? I now can help out my mommy. I can help out my dad. I can, take care of my family. I can quit my job. I can finally work from home or from anywhere you want. Okay, that's what I want to know. Who here, if you're able to make $25,000 a month just from a side hustle, okay, but you're like, oh, dude, that's life-changing. Be honest. Okay, let me see. TikTok family. Dang, well, all right, TikTok family. If we can get to 1,000 people on this live, I'll give you guys this contract that I use for free. And I'm going to show you how you can get it, okay? So let's see if we can get to 1,000 people on the live, TikTok fam. Just double tap the screen and give this video a share, okay? So $25,000 a month is honestly all you need, my friend, is one deal a month. One deal a month, that is it. That's all you need. And I believe that any one of you that's watching this, actually implement this, can actually do one deal a month. Okay? Now I'm going to show you, so where, because a lot of you be like, well, Khang, where do I find these motivated sellers? Like, where do I find these distressed property? I'm going to share with you 3 ways that you can start finding these people today. Like something you can do right now. Like you can implement this right now. Okay? Here we go. Once again, guys, most people charge you a boatload of money to teach you what I'm about to share with you, but your boy King Khang is going to do it all for free. And a lot of you say, well, why, Khang? Well, number one is that if you want people to follow you, you got to add value, right? You got to provide value to them. This is the only reason why, right? If you can make their life better, if you can make them more money, they're going to likely follow you, all right? So if you want to build your personal brand, if you want to have more followers, you got to provide more value. So I'm going to share with you 3 ways to do it. Number one is called D for D, which for those of you already know is driving for dollars. Now, when you drive for dollars, TikTok family, YouTube family, you want to find an old neighborhood that you can go and target. And here's what I'm going to give you, an assignment that you can do today. All I need you to do is you just need to find 10 rundown houses per day. Per day, my friend. So in a month, you should have about 300 rundown houses. Who here believes that they can do this? Who here believes that they can find 10 rundown houses in this city today? Drop me a comment, let me know, okay? Drop me a comment, let me know. Dang, we're at 700 something, let's go. TikTok family, all we need to do is get to 1,000 people. And I know a lot of you, this is what's holding you back. It's that you don't have the right contract, okay, to actually wholesale. What's good about my contract, guys, is I put all the contingent that you need. So in case you can't find a buyer, you can back out of the deal, okay? YouTube family, I'll also hook you guys up I'll drop the link right below, okay? So here's what you're gonna do. For TikTok, because there's no link that you can click, I'm gonna figure out a way that you can get it for free once we get to 1,000 people on this live, okay? So who here believes that they can do this? Comment the word yes. Drop me the word yes. You like Khang? I totally can do this. Okay? Dude, honestly, to find 10 rundown houses, literally, for me anyway, shouldn't take you more than 30 minutes. Okay? Oh, dang, we're almost at 800 TikTok. Let's go. Okay. Number 2, this is number 1 way to generate leads. So when you drive around, you want to look for, you know, tall growing grass, broken windows. The house just looks like it's just a piece of crap, pretty much. It just looks like it needs to be renovated, rehab, it needs work. That's what you want to look for, okay? And then number 2 is network, okay? You want to network with realtors. This is the second way to start generating leads, to start getting deals coming into your pipeline. Network with realtors. Literally, you can go on there and you can Google, hey, realtors in Seattle, Washington. Bam. I want you to call all the realtor up, and here is what I want you to say to the realtors. You ready for this, guys? Dude, I'm giving you guys all the gems, man. I remember, man, 12 years ago when I first got into real estate, I got into real estate at the age of 27. My wife and I had to pay $7,000 to go to this 3-day seminars. They don't even teach you as much as what I teach you in 1 hour. 3 days. I teach you more in 1 hour than the $7,000 that I pay for, okay? So here we go. So show me some love. Oh, dang, we're dropping down. Okay. So number 2 is network with realtor. And here's what you say when you call them. You do not tell the realtors that you are a wholesaler. You tell the realtor that, hey, you know, my partner and I are looking to fix and flip in this area. Okay? And we're looking to work with a badass realtor. Okay? And you let them know that, hey, we can pay cash. We can close quickly. As an investor, all we want is the deal. And we'd love you to represent us, right? To start submitting offers to some of these property, or if you have any property of any seller that are looking to get rid of their property, give us a call. Text us, let us know. We love to pay you all the commission. So most of the time when you talk to a realtor, they want to know is what's in it for me. So if I bring you the deal, what do I get? So you want to let them know that, hey, you get to keep all the commission. We don't need it. We don't want you to split it. You keep it all. So what you want to do is when you network with realtors, you want them to bring you what's called pocket listing. So before they list it on the property, they'll call you up and they'll be like, hey, Khang, I got a property here at 234 Elm Street. Hey, the house is a holder. Seller's out of states. You want to make an offer on it? The answer should always be yes. Love to make an offer on it. How much does the seller want? Boom. Do your research, make an offer. Also, too, is when you network with realtor, you'll be like, hey, could you, if you see any property that's on the market that are like, let's just say that are like 60 days old with a price drop, hey, can you submit an offer for me? And then let them know that, hey, as an investor, I need to buy it at the right price. And then obviously give them your formula. And then tell them to submit all the offer for you. And once again, you'll be like, well, why would some realtor do that? Well, there are realtors that wants to find an investor that they can work with. And that would be you. Okay? They submit offer, you buy the property, they get the commission. But in this case, they bring it to us, we lock it up on the contract, and then we sell it to somebody else. So the cool thing about wholesaling is you don't need a license to do this. Okay? So this is way number 2. Now way number 3. And this is what I use. This is what the pro use. This is what true investor use. We don't drive for dollars. We don't need to call realtors. We don't need to network. Here is what we use, my friend. So there's a software that I use called kingdata.ai. Instead of .com, it's .ai. Kingdata.ai. So with the software, it allows me to go into any city, any states, and if I want to list a pre-foreclosure, bam. One click of a button, I get a pre-foreclosure. I want to list a vacant property, one click of a button, I get a list of vacant property. I want a list of tax delinquents, one click of a button, it'll give me tax delinquents. 17 different distressed property lists that you can pull from this software. There you go, my friend. I just gave you 3 ways. Okay? Now we're running out of time. I want to give you like my badass 3 negotiating tips. So, now this is something, okay, we're running out of time, but let me ask how bad you guys want this. We only can do this if we get more likes and more views. I'll give you 3 of my secret negotiating tips that I don't care when you get on the phone with the seller, as long as they are reasonable and they are motivated to sell, I can show you how to get them to drop 10 to over $100,000 from their asking price with this 3 negotiating question. Who's ready? Who's ready to receive this for free? It took me 12 years to master my negotiating. It took me 12 years to learn what I learned and to share with you. And I use the same strategies, negotiating tactic to train all of my VAs, and they have no sales background, they have no real estate experience, and they can still close deal. I got a seller to drop $150,000 off of their asking price just by asking them these 3 simple negotiating questions. So TikTok family, if you like it, make sure you double tap the screen, give the video a share. Let's rock and roll. Okay, we got 600 some people on. So here's what I'm going to share with you. So this is for TikTok family. TikTok, so there's a link in my bio. It's a 15-minute video where I go into even a little more details on how you can actually close your first deal in the next 30 days. So if you're interested after this live, okay, go to the link in my bio, check out a 15-minute free training. Costs you nothing, all free. No sign up, no nothing. Click in, watch the video, and I'll take you to close your first deal in the next 30 to 60 days from that 15-minute video, okay? YouTube family, as for you, I'm going to drop the link right below in the description. Okay, so TikTok family, if you want that 3 negotiating question, all we need to do is let's get back to 700 people on the live. Can we get 700 people on the live? Honestly, when I share with you, you will be like, Khang, when I share this negotiating question with you, you can literally get on the phone today with a seller, and I can almost promise you that you can get them to drop 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, $100,000. Just like that. You see, once you know what to say, it's really not that hard to close somebody. You just need to know how to say the right thing. That's all. So TikTok, let me see if we can get, okay, TikTok family, I'm looking right now. Okay, let's get to 700 people on the live, baby. Let's go. 25,000 likes? Holy cow, dude. I've never gotten that many, dude, 20. I think the time that I got the most view was when I hit 1 million followers on TikTok. And I went live for the first time. I got over 1 million likes. And I think we got like almost 3,000 people on live. It was crazy, but that was like, what, 3 to 4 years ago? So, 3 negotiating questions. TikTok family, do me a favor, my friend. Your boy King Khang, after this 3 negotiating questions, we're going to shut it down, okay? But this is the most powerful negotiating questions that you probably ever heard of, okay? Dang, let's go. TikTok, we're almost there. Okay, so negotiating question number 1. Okay, negotiating question 1 is buy as is. But everybody say that. Now, how do you say it in a way where it's convincing? So, when you're dealing with a homeowner that said, hey, the house needs a lot of repair, I don't have the cash to fix it up, that's when you come in, you'll be like, hey, Bob, Susan, Sally, Sandy, don't worry, because our company, we're willing to buy your property in an as-is condition, which means there's no repairs that you have to do. Okay? You don't have to cut the grass or mow the yard. If there's something you want to take at the house, you can. And if there's nothing you want to take, you can just leave it as is. We have a cleaning crew that can come in and take care of all of that. Okay? Our goal is to make sure this is a hassle-free sale for you. So there's no fixing, there's no repair, there's no cleanup that you have to do. You take whatever you want, whatever you don't want, you leave it. We'll buy it as is. Bam! So when they're in that situation and everything that I just mentioned to you, it's almost like music to their ear. They love it, dude. So basically they tell you, hey, I love Michael Jackson. And you, dude, and you bring on his most popular song, Thriller. Dude, it's game over, baby. Agree or disagree. Right? When someone said, I like Michael Jackson, pop on Thriller. Dude, it's game over. Let's go. Right? So basically what you're doing there is they say, hey, the house needs a lot of work. Okay. Oh, you guys buy it as is. I don't have to do anything. Let's go. So that's negotiating question number one. So when you come in, you say that, and then the next thing you want to say is, so with that being said, Bob, Sally, what's the best you can do for us? And just, dude, just hear them drop the price. Automatically. They just drop the price. Easy. Too easy. Negotiating question number two. And this, my friend, is the one that I get people to drop the most on their asking price. This is the question that got a seller to drop $100,000 on their asking price. You guys want to know what it is? Okay. TikTok family. We're down. Shh. But it's okay. For those that actually stay, those are the real hustler. Those are the people that actually deserve the nuggets, the knowledge. The rest, they'll be like, yeah, I don't want this. Okay, fine. Okay. So the negotiating question number two is you want to say something like this. This is coming down to the closing costs, okay? So you'll be like, hey, Mr. Seller, what if? So don't tell them that you can actually do it for them, but tell them in a way where you said, I don't know if I could, but what if I can get my partner, I can get my team manager, I can get my finance department to take care of all your closing costs and all the fees. Realtor commissions, excise tax, the transfer tax, the title insurance, the escrow fee, any costs associated with you selling your property, we will pay for it. Can you see yourself going any lower? That's it, my friend. That question right there have gotten a seller to drop $100,000 just by me asking that. She was like, okay, so you're telling me that you pay for all the realtor commissions, all the closing costs. There's nothing I have to worry about. And I said, Sandy, that is correct. So which means whatever we agreed on, Sandy, that's exactly what you walk away with net in your pocket. So what can you do? And she went from $450,000 down to $350,000. Because to her, that's all she needed to walk away with. She didn't care about anything else. So when I negotiate, let me give you one more tips. Okay? When I negotiate with the seller, I never talk about the purchase price. It's really rare that I talk about the purchase price. I always talk about the walk away amount. What they will get at the closing. That's all I want them to know. Because I want them to know that here's the amount you're going to walk away with. What is your plan to do with it? So I don't talk about the purchase price. I only talk about what's going to go in their pocket. Okay, and I'll tell you right now, this amount and this amount will always be less than what they want to sell the property for. 9 out of 10 times. Always. Okay? Negotiating question number 3, and we're going to wrap this up, okay? TikTok family, let's see how many we're on. Okay, we still got 500 of you on here. I appreciate it. You guys really deserve this, man. Honestly, this work. I know I'm going to get a lot of you comment, oh yeah, wholesaling is saturated. It doesn't work anymore. Yada. Dude, I still got student that's closing deal. We're still closing deals. The question is, do you work? Most people are too worried about, oh man, it's saturated. There's too much competition. Dude, outwork your competition. There's plenty of deals out there for every single one of us. Dude, I've been doing this for 12 years, and every single time when I drive around my city, dude, I see a bunch of rundown houses that needed to be rehab, fixed, wholesale all the time. Like, there's always plenty of opportunity. You just need to know where to look, where to find, and what to do with it. That is it. And once you know that, dude, you become a money printing machine. Because literally, you can take me and drop me into any city, dude. Any city. I don't care what city you drop me into. I can go and boom, start closing deals. Because I know where the opportunity is. I know where to find them. I know what to do with them. That's it. So you can take everything from me, but you can't take this, dude. The knowledge, dude, is already there. All right? It's already there. Okay? So question number 3 is negotiating question number 3. Bam. All cash. I'll come in. I'll be like, hey, Bob, since we are going to pay all cash for your property, there's no financing. You don't have to wait 60 days to sell it. We can close it on the date of your choice. What is the best that you can do for us? What is your bottom line on this? Bam. That's it. That's your last question. And watch the seller drop the price again. All right? So once again, YouTube family, I appreciate each and every single TikTok family. Stay on a little bit. I got something special for you. So once again, YouTube family, I appreciate each and every single one of you that are watching this. And once again, I'll leave all the training right below in the descriptions. For those of you who wants to, see more about the software, how to use it, I'll drop the link right below. I'll show you how to turn $149 into your first $25,000 leveraging that software. The tutorial is right in the descriptions. Now, YouTube family, for those of you who be like, hey, Khang, dude, I've learned so much from you, man. But I love to, learn it from you and get my first deal or my next deal closed. I need some hands-on coaching or mentorship. Just go to coachwithkhang.com, fill out the application, book a call with my team. Love to have you inside the academy and love to have you work with me and my team alongside with us and showing you exactly how to close your first or your next upcoming wholesale deal. Until next time, YouTube family, take care and let's go get this money. All right.